Hi, I'm Tiara Sawyers. I work in the Gulfport School District, and I am here to talk to you about human interaction with Earth. The standards covered in this lesson are Standard E.4.9C, E.4.9C.3, and E.4.9C.4. Essential question. How does human interaction with conservation and pollution change the Earth? I can statement. I can understand that the Earth is affected by outside movements and human activities. First, we are going to talk about Earth's spheres. There are 4 of them. So we have the geosphere, which is all the rock on Earth. Then we have the hydrosphere, which is all the water on Earth. We have the atmosphere, which are all the gases surrounding the Earth. And then we have the biosphere, which is all the living things on Earth. All right, so we're going to talk about those 4 spheres specifically. Earth's land makes up the geosphere. Geo means Earth. The Earth's geosphere, sometimes called the lithosphere, is the portion of the Earth that includes rocks and minerals. It starts at the ground and extends all the way down to Earth's core. We rely on the geosphere to provide natural resources and a place to grow food. Volcanoes, mountain ranges, and deserts are all part of the geosphere. Put simply, without the geosphere, there would be no Earth. Earth's water makes up the hydrosphere. Hydro means water. The hydrosphere includes the oceans, rivers, lakes, groundwater, and water frozen in glaciers. 97% of water on Earth is found in the oceans. Water is one of the most important substances needed for life and makes up about 90% of living things. Without water, life would not be possible. Earth's air makes up the atmosphere. Atmos means air. The atmosphere includes all the gases surrounding the Earth. We often call the atmosphere air. All planets have an atmosphere, but Earth is the only planet with the correct combination of gases to support life. The atmosphere consists of 5 layers, and it is responsible for Earth's weather. Even though it seems like air is made of nothing, it consists of particles too small to be seen. All these particles have weight that push down on Earth. The weight of air above us is called air pressure. Earth's living things make up the biosphere. Bio means life. The biosphere is made up of all living things on Earth, and it includes fish, birds, plants, and even people. The living portion of the Earth interacts with all the other spheres. Living things need water, which is the hydrosphere. That's where the hydrosphere comes in. Chemicals from the atmosphere and nutrients gained by eating things in the biosphere. All right, so let's recap. The Earth has 4 major spheres. Those spheres are called the geosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, and biosphere. And all of those spheres interact to affect Earth's systems and processes. Let's talk about ecosystems.
Today we're going to learn what an ecosystem is, its components, and the different types of ecosystems found on Earth. Ready to learn about them? An ecosystem is the community of the living organisms and the natural resources of the environment in which they live. Ecosystems are found in different parts of the planet. They can be very big, like the Sahara Desert, or much smaller and circumscribed, like the Dead Sea. But how do we identify ecosystem coverage? The flora and fauna of each ecosystem have adapted to live according to the characteristics and resources of their surroundings. The interaction among them defines the ecosystem and its coverage. That's why there are so many types of ecosystems. Ecosystems consist of a biotope and a biosynosis. Let's see what they are. The physical characteristics of the surroundings are called a biotope. These characteristics include non-living elements like the soil, the water, the air, the wind, the light, or the temperature. The biological community that lives in those surroundings is called biosynosis. That is to say, the living beings that live in a physical area. Among the living beings that make up the communities in an ecosystem, we can find microorganisms, plants, and animals. We distinguish between two types of ecosystems: natural ecosystems and artificial ecosystems. Natural ecosystems are those areas that have developed without human intervention. Natural ecosystem diversity occurs due to different climates and resources found in every one of them. This way, the animals and plants in a natural ecosystem have developed a series of adaptations related to the environment in which they live. Polar bears, for example, are white to camouflage themselves in the North Pole environment. If those environments are destroyed, or if there's a change in the resources, the interaction among the elements of the ecosystem would be altered, and this could endanger their existence. We can classify natural ecosystems in two major types: terrestrial and marine ecosystems. Terrestrial ecosystems include deserts, jungles, woodlands, tundras, taigas, grasslands, or savannas. Marine ecosystems differ depending on the type of water. That's why there are freshwater ecosystems like rivers and lakes, and saltwater ecosystems like seas and oceans. Artificial ecosystems are those areas created by humans and cannot be found in nature, like urban ecosystems, for example. Agricultural ecosystems, livestock ecosystems, reservoir and dam ecosystems. As you can see, the interaction established among the living beings and the environment is very important to preserve an ecosystem. Help to look after the environment to preserve the huge diversity of natural ecosystems.
So let's remember that an ecosystem is a community of interacting organisms and their environments. And second, organisms only survive in an ecosystem when their specific needs are met. All right, so how human interactions affect the earth. Impacting the water supply, humans can negatively affect water quality even if they live far away from it. We have an impact on water quality even if we don't live near any major bodies of water. There are many ways in which people affect water quality. Using too much fertilizer or pesticide, dumping waste into storm drains, littering, and not cleaning up after dogs can all cause pollution. These wastes can enter groundwater or move along the surface of land and contaminate larger bodies of water far away. In addition, all the paved surfaces in the cities create a lot of surface water after it rains, which carries pollution from the streets into bodies of water. Agricultural runoff can also contaminate the water. Water that is not absorbed by the plants travels over the soil and picks up fertilizers and other pollutants along the way. That water flows into groundwater or nearby bodies of water, When polluted runoff reaches the ocean, it can create blooms of algae, which take up all the oxygen in the water, leaving dead zones where fish cannot survive. Alright, so now we just talked about how humans can negatively affect the earth. Let's talk about things we can do to have a positive impact, okay? Alright, so humans can affect earth positively through conservation. Now, conservation is the protection of things found in nature. Alright, so people who care about the earth are going to preserve natural resources so that they'll still be around in the future. Alright, so things that we can do to help affect the earth positively: reduce, reuse, and recycle. Now I know you guys have heard of recycling, and when you reduce, it means you do less of it, and when you reuse, you just use it over and over and over again. All right, so those are three things that help. And then don't litter. Do not litter. Throwing your trash away on the ground because you don't feel like walking to the trash can causes pollution. It's not a good thing. Use less water, use energy efficient light bulbs, and plant trees. Those are ways that we can affect Earth positively. All right, so watch what you're doing because it somehow affects the Earth, either positively or negatively. And I don't know about you, but everything I do, I want it to have a positive result. So thank you for tuning in. I hope you learned a lot from today's lesson. Bye, guys.